I will say when I moved to LA in '06, I was working at the airport, so I would ride the train. I ride the bus, the 42A, and it would drop me off in Crenshaw. And in the mornings when I would walk to the station, I was always playing "What's Going On." I was playing that album out, bro. Like it was like my daily album. Like I don't play albums like that. Like over and over ever. You know, that's the only album I think I played over and over and over again. So every time I hear anything from that, um, any song from that album, man, God is love, um, what's happening, brother, like all those joints, what's going on, of course, but like just everything, man, flying high, like all those songs make me think about L.A. Baldwin Hills, Crenshaw, walking around the mall, taking the back streets up the hills, and going hiking up to Kenneth Hahn Park. Like that's pretty much that was like my sermon every day for like a year
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
So yeah, that definitely any of those songs always puts me right back there. You know.
Okay, okay. Yo,
Hmm.
what do you think? Do you what do you think that it might have been um,
His
about that
sad,
album that made you kind of like keep going back to it in
how sad he
that
was, man.
time?
His sadness for sure.
Yeah,
You know, he was so like he was basically crying for everybody on that album. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
so that like he was the only person at the time who put himself in the shoes of a drug addict on the song. You know what I'm saying? Just real he was really just crying out for his people for the plight of us. And it was impactful, you know what I'm saying? And at that time I really was too, spiritually I was thinking everything with black people, as we are, was tied to our spirituality. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Something that was you can't really create a change in our state without getting that right. You know what I'm saying? So that was just what I was focused on at the time, just black people's kind of pain, and and the thing is, I was a lot younger too, so I hadn't really gone through a lot of shit yet,
yeah,
but I was being empathetic and shit. I was opening up myself to just other people in their pain. You know what I'm saying? So he articulated it so well, and it really informed like what I do. Because I really, people told me they've cried when they've heard some of my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, like
yeah.
certain songs. Like a minute ago, like no lie, like I muted my phone because I got a ping because somebody hit me up about one of them joints. They was like, man, this song was like, you know, like it hit them. So I was just like, it's the truth, man. Marvin is the pain professor.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you need that as a musician. So I think that's what kept drawing me back to it.
Nah, yo, that's mad true. That's mad true. You know what I'm
Because it
saying?
wasn't
Like,
it wasn't sad. It was so dope. The album's amazing. You know what I'm saying? But it was really based on sadness. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, it is. It is. I could definitely see that. Um, there's two different ways I was trying to go about it because, oh, fuck it, just let it go. So yo, like the thing that kind of like, I don't know, yo. I don't. Yeah, it's definitely a sadness, but I guess in my mind, maybe a bit more of a sorrow.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great word. Yeah,
Yeah, but it's kind of like not a completely like negative. Um,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah, but it's kind of like it's this sort of semi not I don't want to say melancholic, but semi melancholic understanding that I feel like that kind of like comes about because it
hmm
wasn't this around the same time that he was like starting to like live like visit and like live in London for like quite a time.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
like, man, like honestly, I've been thinking about this like a lot, honestly. And like growing up, like thinking about like, okay, like since even before I was even in high school, I had this sort of like romanticized ideal in my mind about, what I'm saying, like being an artist and doing like my music. But the fact would be that I would end up having to move to like Europe because
Yeah.
we were always told like that they like actually like appreciated like
Yep.
our music and like our artwork. But it's kind of like I don't know. I think when having to go and live and connect to another like culture, and then like looking back on like those sorrows and sadnesses in the US, and I don't know, maybe I could put it like because I think about this in the sense of like, yeah, primarily like people like Marvin Gaye and like Baldwin, but I'm
Okay.
just always thinking about shit like when I first moved here. One of the things that became like super obvious to me was that there's definitely racism here, a
Yeah.
whole lot here. But there was something about it that's kind of like refreshing because it comes from like a different part of the person,
Mm. Okay.
and I don't know like how to explain it, but it's something about the way that these sorts of like prejudices and these sort of like oppressive mechanisms are kind of like instilled in each individual, and not only in each individual but also in the system. You kind
Hmm.
of see how it's different. And to yeah, like I said, like when I first moved here, it was damn near I actually was I used to say it all the time, it's refreshing. It's like a different kind of racism.
It's like racism light.
Not even it's like it's not like racism light, it's kind of like racism cherry, where it's like let him racism great. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah. Limited time.
yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It just depends.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, and if you go like to like France, it's different. It might be like racism, like lime or some shit.
Yeah, yeah. I got a weird. We was all over France when I went and with cunnilingus, and I remember in Bordeaux, this motherfucker like tried to shoo us out of a store. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, it was like, like, yeah, he's speaking his little French, whatever. Like, we trying to find somewhere to eat. That shit was just that was weird. Cause I think why that was different is because he just see our face. He don't know what language we even speak. So I think
Yeah,
that's why he got all animated and animal like and shit. Cause he just don't know. He doesn't see us as like maybe they speak French. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it was just some weird shit like that. So yeah, I know what you mean. But when you riding around with rappers, you're usually in the company of people who want to be there. So it's kind of insulated from that in a sense. But imagine you just living there, doing your job, and being, you know,
yeah. Yo, that's a
live
whole nother
person.
like
You know?